Good afternoon, ladies. We're moving along as we have been before by the grace of God and His mercy. And today we're at Proverbs 25:17. Proverbs 25:17. Will you please read?
Let your foot seldom be in your neighbor's house, or he will become tired of you and hate you.
Well, that's pretty direct. Let your foot seldom be in your neighbor's house, or he will become tired of you and hate you. The overview of this verse says it advises moderation in social interaction, suggesting that being a constant guest can become burdensome and damage a relationship, as it can lead to the host growing weary of the visitor's presence. Commentaries emphasize this principle of respecting boundaries and the importance of maintaining healthy relationships through thoughtful restraint and not overstaying your welcome. Benson's commentary says, visit, but not as frequently, or do not come over for just any occasion, nor intrude upon your neighbor, or take up their time uninvited and unexpected, lest having too much of your company grows not only troublesome, but it becomes loathsome, and it turns from love to hatred of you, because you just pop in anytime and stay longer than you should, and then cross the fence and go to talking. We need to learn boundaries and learn how to respect others' space. Matthew Henry's concise commentary says, we cannot be upon good terms with our neighbors without discretion, as well as sincerity. How much better a friend is God than any other friend? The oftener we come to Him, the more welcome we are. In other words, the writer here is saying, God never gets tired of you. You can go and talk to Him anytime. But every time an ant crawls across the floor or you find a flea, you don't have to go to your neighbor. There's just fleas in the neighborhood. And did you see what they're doing over there? They will soon grow weary of you, just like you grow weary of them if they do that to you. My grandmother used to put it, when we would say, can I go to so-and-so's house? Well, you went yesterday. But she said it's okay. Seldom visits make better friends. Gill's expository of the entire Bible says it's commended. It's encouraged for us to be neighborly and friendly. It's not saying not be friendly, not be neighborly, not be caring. It's commendable for one neighbor to visit another, but it should not be frequent, not always at thy neighbor's house. Make thy foot precious or rare where they enjoy seeing you, okay? Enjoy your company, because the neighbor can become weary and filled with your company and start to resent your visits, okay? Bible reference says, don't take advantage of another person's hospitality. A common English expression is, don't wear out one's welcome. This is when someone exploits a host. They exploit their goodwill, and they actually become a nuisance. Good company is good, but even good company can become an irritation when it's overdone. Solomon's culture placed immense importance upon hospitality. Hosts were expected to be gracious and generous and helpful to visitors. But Solomon wisely advises a guest to only visit occasionally to avoid irritating his neighbor. In 1 Timothy 5:13, and we'll look at that a little later, the Bible notes that spending too much time in a neighbor's house is not good for the guest or the host. And that's what we're learning now in Proverbs 25:17. And then in 1 Timothy 5:13, Paul warned. He warned about those who spent undue time flitting from one neighbor's house to another, okay? They learned to be idlers, not taking care of things they had to do, just idle, going from one place to the other. Did you know? Oh, how you doing? Sit down, bro. That becomes an idler, okay? But they also became gossips and busybodies, saying things that they should not say. One should use proper discernment and know when to let the neighbor enjoy their personal space. Just because you're outside and they're outside doesn't mean you need to go over there or they need to come over to your place, because they may be outside just to free their mind and relax and have something planned, just like you outside because you have something planned you want to do. And it is hardest to teach that to children, because children just want to play and they want to go all the time. And there comes a time you have to teach them to respect the neighbor's space. J. Vernon McGee brings out, don't spend too much time at the neighbor's house, or else you may fool around and hear a conversation where it's said, I wish that gossip would stay at home sometime. It is best not to wear out your welcome. Just remember this. We can come to God as often as we want to. We can tell him everything, anything, all things, spend all the time we want to with him, and he never gets tired of that. The more we spend, the better for us. But respect and have discretion, and teach your children to have discretion. They say, but that's my friend. That's what I used to say. That's my friend. And they invited me to come. Yeah, but they may be doing something. They're not doing nothing. They're not busy. Well, you don't know that, what you want to do. And it teaches you that carries out on your job, where you in an office and it's a cubicle there. You don't spend all your time standing there talking and, And is that so-and-so? And is that such and such a person? And then, because that person's in their cubicle because they need to get some work done. They don't want to discuss that. They have some time where they need to get something done. People sometimes say, oh, you know, she's a snob. She never visits. Well, that's not it. You have things to do. And you don't need, and there's nothing wrong with visiting every now and then. But person that's always got time to visit ain't doing too much where they live. If you got all that time, then that means something you're not doing where you need to be responsible. So this is what the lesson is teaching us today. It's a short but to the point lesson to help us for ourselves, to help us with others, and to teach our children growing up. Don't be an idle gossiper going from house to house, from house to house to house. I have had friends who were in a different setting in their lives, and they talk about how the husbands go to work and they all gather at this house, and pretty soon you can rest assured trouble gonna break out because somebody ain't gonna like what somebody else said or done or dressed or wore or cooked or something, and trouble's gonna start. And it's that way it works. Keep gathering up in your groups and see. After a while, trouble's gonna break out. It's gonna be somebody's feelings hurt. That's why he said don't do that. Be cordial, be friendly, but you don't stay at their room and you don't get nothing done at yours. And you don't want everybody at your house all the time. Sometimes you just want peace and quiet. You don't want that. Having peace and quiet is not being a snob. It's where you can think, you can listen, and you can do the things and hear the Lord guiding you in what you need to do. Just such a good lesson this morning.